Hello there, thank you for visiting my humble channel. In this video I will be teaching you how to create a free tier database cluster on MongoDB. MongoDB Atlas offers a cloud database service, so we'll be teaching you how to set up your accounts and then you can connect them. Okay, without wasting more time, let's go to my screen and I'll show you how to do it. Remember, if this video proves helpful, don't forget to subscribe and like it. Thank you.
The first thing that you want to do is go ahead and go to mongodb.com. Once you get to this screen, go ahead and start free. It will then bring you to this screen right here where it will detail all the features that you have with your free tier cluster. And here on the left, you'll have the sign up form. You can either sign up with your Google account or enter your information here. I have a Google account, so I'm gonna go ahead and just sign up with my own personal Google account. Once you have authenticated your Google account, it will bring you to this screen right here where you'll have to accept the terms of use. So go ahead and click accept and submit. Once you have agreed to the terms of use, it will bring you to the account setup page. Here it gives you an option to enter your organization name. If this is only for a hobby or just for a personal app, just go ahead and enter your name or whatever name you want to give it to your quote-unquote organization. If you have a team, then you can just put the name of your team there. It also gives you a option to put a name project. So I'm gonna go ahead and just say my project. It also gives you an option to select your preferred language. I'm gonna be using JavaScript, but as you can see, it gives you a very broad spectrum of all the languages that you can use. I'm gonna go ahead and click JavaScript. Okay, once you do that, it will ask you what tier is that you wanna be signing up for. I'm gonna be signing up for the free tier for now. It will then ask you what cloud provider do you want to use. I'm going to leave it as it is, as I want to use AWS, and North Virginia is the closest region to me. However, if the option selected here at the bottom for you is not the closest one to you, I would recommend go ahead and click the one that is closest to where you live. Okay, and finally it gives you these three options. You will have your cluster tier. This will only detail the features that you will have with this free cluster. Again, you can change it from here if you want to. I'm going to go ahead and just leave it as it is, as I want the free tier. Second option is just additional backups. If you want to back up your database, I don't want to back it up, so I'm going to leave it as it is, so no backup. The last option here at the bottom is the name that you want to give your cluster. I'm just going to go ahead and say my cluster and click on create cluster. It will then bring you to this screen right here, and notice that this will take a few minutes before you can actually create your cluster. All right, now we can see that our cluster is being created. It will take a few minutes, so just be patient and wait till that cluster is created. As you can see here on the left, it will also give you a list of all the things that it recommends you to do, so you can get all set up on Atlas. It will be checking off one by one as you go through them. Okay, once the cluster has been created, the next thing on the list is create our first database user. So we're gonna go ahead and click on database access, add a new database user. So the first thing is we're gonna go ahead and enter a username for our user. I'm just going to say my user and enter a password for it. Once we have our username and our password, the next step is to select the access privilege that we want to give this user. I want this user to be able to read and write to any database, so I'm gonna leave that as it is, but if you want to change it, please note that you have all these options here. But again, I'm gonna leave it as that because that's what I want this one to do. If you want to restrict access to specific clusters, if you have more, you can turn this on. And if this is a temporary user, you can also just give it a temporary use and specify how much time you want it to have. I'm gonna use this user for a long time, so I'm just gonna go ahead and leave this off and add user. Alright, it's telling me that the user cannot have any white spaces, so I need to either include a dash or delete that. I'm just gonna go ahead and include a dash in there and then go ahead and add user. Alright, the next one on the list is to whitelist our IP address. That means where are we gonna be connecting from, and for that we will go to network access right here on the left, and we will add an IP address. If you want this cluster to be restricted to a specific IP address, then go ahead and enter it there. If you want to access it from anywhere, then just go ahead and type 0.0.0.0. Just notice that anyone will be able to access this cluster. You can include an optional comment there if you want to. I'm not gonna do that, so I'm just gonna go ahead and click confirm. Okay, the next option that it gives is to load a sample dataset. I don't want to load any sample datasets as I'm going to be creating my collections from my routes, so I'm gonna go ahead and skip the step. The next one is to connect to your cluster. This video is getting a little too long, so I'm gonna go ahead and explain that step in the next video. I'm going to be using Robo3T to connect to MongoDB, so if you want to know how to connect MongoDB to your Robo3T software, go.
Okay, so now that you have created your first free tier database cluster on MongoDB Atlas, the next question is, how do you interact with your database, right? I mean, you could do this in many different ways. The way I prefer is using Robo3T, which is a very nice GUI to interact with your database. So in the next video, we're gonna go ahead and connect our database to Robo3T. So if you don't have Robo3T, go ahead and download it. I'm gonna leave the link right below of this video. And in the next video, we're gonna go ahead and connect our database in Mongo Atlas to our application Robo3T. So stay tuned. If this video was helpful, don't forget to share it, give it a like. Thank you again. God bless you, and I'll see you in the next video.